Welcome back to my channel. Today I am at the Salesforce Transit Center, and above it is Salesforce Park, which is the San Francisco version of New York's High Line. So let's go up and take a look around. Salesforce Park is on Mission next to Salesforce Tower and right above the Salesforce Transit Center. Don't these colored circles just make you want to scream, "Beam me up, Scotty!" On the other side of the transporter pads, get it? Transporter pads at the transit center? Someone has a sense of humor. Anyway, on the other side is a gondola to take you up to the park. It's not working now, and personally, I have never seen it working. But if it ever starts again, it would be kind of a cool way to ride up. Look how beautiful this floor is. The flowers and birds are a precursor of what you're going to get when you see the park upstairs. And check out this huge digital marquee. It displays poetry and prose from San Francisco-based writers like Maya Angelou and Harvey Milk. I came out at the children's playground. Pretty cool, huh? This is smack downtown San Francisco, where public outdoor spaces just aren't available at ground level. This project was conceived not only as a public outdoor space for people to enjoy, but it's integral to the environmental efficiency of the transit center. Here's an overhead view of the park. There's a path that walks around the entire circumference of the park. The outside border contains a number of mini Mediterranean gardens from around the world, all of which can grow in San Francisco's unique climate. Each of these gardens has a plaque that tells you what the garden is and a little bit about the plants from that garden. For example, here's the Urban Wildlife Garden. Many wild animals like owls have adapted to urban life. Telegraph Hill, for example, is home to a pandemonium of parrots. Next to the Urban Wildlife Garden is the Australian Garden. Did you know that when Captain Cook first landed on Australia's eastern shore, he dubbed it Botany Bay because of the variety of plants that were in the area? It carries that name still. In the center of the park are different areas for people to enjoy. This section is closed off because of COVID. I came here when the park first opened in 2018, and this section was teeming with people, food carts, kids playing. There was a children's library. I searched for that footage, but I couldn't find it. Across from this are grass trees. Now right now, this just looks like large grass, but as it grows, it'll have a small tree trunk and the grass sprouting out of the top, and it will look like a Dr. Seuss book come to life. Ooh, check out this little birdie. Now watch, this guy is walking past and the bird is totally nonplussed about it. He hops away, but he really doesn't look fearful. That is urban wildlife. As we keep walking, you can see that there are plenty of places to sit and enjoy the gardens. Across from the benches is the Mediterranean Basin. San Francisco's climate is classified as Mediterranean, so when the early Spanish settlers arrived, this area would have felt very familiar to them. Behind the benches is this bamboo grove. And this is a good time to remind you, we are in the midst of high-rises in downtown San Francisco. Notice how cool those lights are, the straight poles with the nice glow at the top. There are a few walkways that connect some of these high-rises to the park, so it would be a great place to chill out for lunch or after work. This is the oak grove, and there are a couple of cork oak trees. Now, have you ever wondered where the cork in your wine bottles comes from? It's from the bark of the cork oak tree. As we get to the end of this side of the park, this is the prehistoric garden. These plants are believed to have been grown in the area since prehistoric times, something like 10 million years ago. I cannot even fathom 10 million years, but these plants are the threads that tie us to our ancient past. At the end of the park, they have these two small identical areas right behind the prehistoric garden. These are the trees surrounded by these small steps, so if you want to get a little shade and a little quiet. As we head around to the other side of the park, again you've got all of these seats, and they're facing the redwood grove. I wonder how well this was really thought out, planting redwoods here. The coast redwood is the tallest tree in the world, and it grows taller than the Statue of Liberty. The giant sequoia, which also grows about as tall as the Statue of Liberty, can have a trunk that's 30 feet in diameter. I can't imagine they will keep those trees here, but it takes years to reach the height and girth, so we're good for a little while. Following the redwood grove is what appears to be a fountain, a long, winding, really boring fountain. But this is one of the coolest features in the park. Oh, here's the other end of the gondola that I have never seen working. It would be cool if there really was a gondola. So far, it's just a rumor. Okay, back to the long, seemingly boring fountain. Oh wait, look at these birdies. Again, they don't care that I'm there. They're just having a good time pecking at the food on the ground. Now this is the other side of that large COVID-closed seating area. And across from that is the entrance to the Salesforce building. That's not intimidating at all. And look at this bear. It's kind of cool. The cafe was closed though. Okay, back to the fountain. I get easily distracted. You can see the water is coming up now. So here's how the fountain works. The buses are crossing this bridge into the transit terminal. When they get in the building, the movement of the bus triggers a sensor, and that turns on the fountains. So when these fountains go off, you know that there's a bus arriving. I think that is so cool. After the fountain is this manzanita tree next to some coastal sage scrub. At the end of this side of the park are drought-tolerant plants, cacti, and other desert plants. Continuing on the other side is probably my favorite set of gardens. This is the fog and wind garden. San Francisco can get really windy, and for these plants to survive, the leaves are packed really closely together. Also, a lot of these plants are irrigated from the moisture in the fog. I love how nature adapts to its environment to survive, and irrigation by fog, that's like pretty rad. Next to this is the cloud forest. The plants in this type of climate are usually very high altitude, enshrouded in fog. Now we're not that high of an altitude, but San Francisco definitely has fog. Next is the Chilean garden, plants that thrive in Chile and in San Francisco's climate. Look at these trees. Aren't they strange looking? These are called monkey puzzle trees, and they are native to Chile and Argentina. They're called monkey puzzle trees because they would puzzle a monkey to try to climb the tree. These gardens are gorgeous. They are the South African gardens, and notice the hummingbird. That was so cool. I did not notice it when I was filming it otherwise. I would have stopped everything just to watch it. All right, so we've been around the entire perimeter of the park, so let's talk a little bit about some of the interior parts of it. They have this grassy area for you to just hang out in, perfect for picnics or making out or whatever. I don't know what it's like where you guys live, but a lot of city life is signs that say, stay off the grass, don't walk on the grass. So it's really nice to see an area where they actually want you to walk on and enjoy the grass. At this end is this fantastic grassy area and amphitheater. I can totally see bands playing here for lunch concerts, people sitting on the grass and eating their lunches. I have a lot of really good memories of lunch concerts in downtown LA when I worked there. These two guys are making good use of the space too. And here is a path that cuts from one side of the park to the other. So this is really cool. The night has come, the daylight's gone, so it's time for me to head out as well. I hope this helps you find your adventure. Thank you for watching.